I like to know what the actual evidence says about something rather than just assuming something works based on the work that I do with my clients. So let's jump right into 5 questions and their validity based on the current scientific evidence. Number 1, are MRI images of your spine predictive of your chances of getting low back pain or its severity? A long-term study found that MRI findings have no significant predictive ability in regards to low back pain. They found a large proportion of people are just walking around with disc bulges and have no symptoms, while others do, meaning that diagnosing a disc bulge isn't really significantly helpful. We tend to only look at it to confirm lower back pain as to figure out why it's there in the first place. And we've seen that most herniated discs recover on their own without surgery, and I'm a good example of that myself, having a fairly serious one in L4, L5 of my spine, and I was able to rehab it with no surgery, no worse for wear at this point. Sticking with the theme of the spine here, number 2, is heavy lifting, running, cycling, etc. bad for your back? The quick answer is not at all. Our spinal discs are highly adaptable and react in response to something like heavy lifting or cycling, rowing, any sort of stress that's put on the spine. Studies have shown that those who frequently put compressive forces on their discs had greater disc hydration and thicker vertebral bones in general. As long as you're giving your body a chance to adapt and recover to the stresses that you're putting on it, your spine will be fine from all these activities. If anything, you're making it even stronger by giving it something to adapt to. Number 3, does warming up improve performance and decrease injury risk? Yes and yes, but not quite in the way you might think. Warm-ups do not need to be overly complex or long. I've seen people spend 20 minutes rolling around on a foam roller or stretching before they even touch their first exercise. This is not necessary. The best warm-up for any exercise is that same exercise but at a lower intensity, meaning the best way to warm up for running is a light run. For a heavy squat is a lighter squat, and so on. No need to waste time with anything else. Your body is very specific in what it needs to prepare for, so why not choose the exact thing that you're going to be doing? Number 4, is pain a sign of damage in the body? Not necessarily, and this gets a little bit complicated. Pain is better described as a perception of threat as opposed to actual damage. Sure, you can sprain your ankle and sprain the actual ligaments of the ankle, meaning that there is some damage there, which obviously causes pain. But a lot of time, pain is like a bruise. You can very clearly see an objective sign that there was some damage there, but a lot of times you don't even know how it got there in the first place, because at the time, it was not a perception of threat. Maybe you just bumped into something while you were doing something else, you didn't even pay attention to it, so you did not receive any pain signals, even though there's clearly some damage there. So in short, to make this as simple as possible, not all pain is related to damage, and not all damage causes pain. Make sense? Let's further explore this in number 5. Is pain rehabilitation solely based on treatment effectiveness? So what this question is really asking is it solely based on the type of treatment, whether that's, say, medication or rehab exercises or stretching, whatever the case is your prognosis, how you're going to heal and rehabilitate from an injury, solely based on the treatment? And the answer has been found to be very clearly no. It was found in a 2021 study that placebo and other contextual effects account for a large portion, around 50%, of our treatment effects. Think about what this means. There have been other studies that have shown how effective simply believing that you get better is to your recovery. Being told that you're going to be just fine, or on the contrary, being told that you're going to be dealing with something for the rest of your life, or it's going to get worse, or something like that, has a very interestingly large effect. So be careful about the language and the attitude you have towards your injury, because that actually has a pretty big effect on the prognosis going forward. Interesting story. With certain clients, you notice how, especially when somebody believes they can get better and wants to get better and is putting all their effort into it, they tend to feel better faster. And there are certain people, not that they don't want to get better, but they have something in their mind that's blocking them, thinking, hey, this is going to be something I'm dealing with for the rest of my life. I'm always going to be in pain. I just have to manage it. Those people tend to be in pain for longer, and it's something I've noticed anecdotally here with clients as well. So keep in mind what's up in your mind. I hope that clears up some common misconceptions about pain and injury.